Welcome back to the Papa Me channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we're talking about Lisa Frank. Which for anyone who doesn't remember Lisa Frank or that little name, Lisa Frank was more than just a brand. It was a cultural phenomenon that captured the imaginations of millions of youth in America. Which you might remember all the little cutesy folders, pencil cases. Her art was filled with vibrant, psychedelic colors that featured cute little animals like unicorns frolicking in the forest, or tigers splashing in puddles, seals hiding in kelp, and aliens giving you the bird. Her art was on everything. Notebooks, lunchboxes, toys, clothing, posters, stickers, trapper keepers, you name it, Lisa Frank put a goddamn animal on it. It was the defining style of the preteen girls everywhere during the 80s and 90s. You know, I'm a 1960s man myself. I'm up there in some years, but I do remember for my first marriage, buying my little girl some of this stuff, and she loved it. God rest her soul. Wildfires are just so...
Today's video is sponsored by Upside. Upside is a free app that gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas, groceries, and dining. On average, Americans spend $600 or more during the summer months. And top earners on the app are getting as much as $300 every month on Upside. Oh my God, really? So, it's the perfect time to spend wisely and build up some extra income. There are over 100,000 gas stations, grocery stores, and restaurants on Upside, so there are always options to get cash back through the app.
I use Upside when I get gas, and last month I received over $100 back with the app.
And yes, it's real cash back. No confusing rewards, points, or credits, just money to your bank account. Whoa. All you have to do is claim an offer on whatever you're buying, pay with your credit card or debit card, follow a few steps in the app, and boom, get paid! Make some money this summer with Upside. To find out how much you can earn, click the link in the description or scan the QR code to download the free Upside app to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. Thank you, Upside, for sponsoring the video, and back to the video.
But behind this sparkly surface lies a story much darker, much more deceptive than what you might expect. Person that makes this kind of art. So today we're diving deep into the world of Lisa Frank, a name that once symbolized childhood joy and now carries a weight of controversy. Dun 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 dun. That's sick. God, dude. Look at that fucking seal, dude.
Why are we still here?
And she is a beautiful looking woman though, huh? Yeah, little pepperoncinis. Forever tit. Which, to be fair, I really expected the artist to be more of like a Tumblr girl or something. I don't know. Yeah, I could see Lisa Frank being on Tumblr.
Look at my art. Oh God, that's fabulous.
Lisa Frank is a very, very private person, even doing some of the research here. But a lot of this info is coming from a Jezebel article. Is Jezebel, is that like jisms? Lisa Frank was born on April 21st, 1955, in Michigan to a wealthy family. Her dad was in the automotive industry, and his company was the only one producing engine bearings for U.S. tanks in World War II. That's just kind of a fun thought. And from an early age, her parents encouraged her in her artistic endeavors, so she pursued a degree in art.
My dad's rich. Did you know he did the U.S. tanks?
You know your dad killed millions of people, right? All around me are familiar faces. And also her parents said that she colored in the lines. That's a quote. That's the hard-hitting journalism we have here on the Papa Me channel. Lisa studied art at the University of Arizona in the 70s, and during this time, she started her own business where she would buy and resell handmade pottery and jewelry from local Native American communities.
She was basically a drop shipper.
She's drop shipping indigenous pottery. Her business became so profitable that she started to commission the artists for her own original designs. This is a quote.
If I said, make a teddy bear or a unicorn,
That was what sold. By the time she was 20, she created a line of plastic jewelry called Stinky Fingers? No, she didn't.
Sticky, sorry.
It says Stinky Fingers. You motherfucker. She created a line of jewelry called Sticky Fingers. And over time, she slowly gained commercial rights to characters like Betty Boop, Felix the Cat, and Popeye. She started getting into the cartoon business. Then in 1979, at the age of 24, she renamed her company to Lisa Frank Incorporated. And within a year, she received her first $1 million order from Spencer's Gifts. I don't know the history of Spencer's Gifts, but let me tell you, when I was younger, it was McFarlane toys, dildos, bongs, and titty posters, and Invader Zim merch. And to think in the very back, there's like a Betty Boop like plastic necklace and Lisa Frank incorporated on the back. The company initially focused on producing stickers that quickly gained popularity among children. These stickers were unlike anything else on the market at the time. They featured a vibrant mix of colors and whimsical designs, often depicting anthropomorphized animals in surreal settings. I like how I like to imagine back then too. Someone's like, "Holy shit! I've never seen anything like this before, ever. I have to buy this now." Her art used airbrushing techniques that often took 9 to 36 hours to complete. God damn, Lisa, how much time do you think these kids have on their hands?
All right, so this one's 9 hours. This one's gonna take you 3 years. You like that? He's a chimp. Is Travis a chimp?
Comes from going to the zoo or art museums, reading magazines from everywhere.
And the sticker design often took, on average, 3 months to be approved. So each sticker that was revolutionary at the time took 3 whole months just to approve to get up on shelves. She's very anal. How did that word come to be for your, I'm anal. Oh my God. As her popularity grew, Frank realized that there was potential to expand her brand beyond just stickers. She began producing a wide range of school supplies, including folders, notebooks, and backpacks, all adorned with her signature, colorful designs. By the mid-'80s, Lisa Frank's product had become a staple in the American school system. My God. Children eagerly collected and traded her stickers, and her school supplies were seen as must-have items. God help you if you were a girl in the mid-'80s to early '90s and you didn't have some of these folders, dude. People would point and laugh. If you were one of the poor kids that had to get the regular one-color folder, don't even show up to school, dude. Jan Sports backpacks are cool now. I remember I used to see kids get bullied for having that shit. You needed to have a Billabong backpack, a Fox backpack, or like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle backpack. Or you better get the out of the way. The success of Lisa Frank Incorporated was not just due to the products themselves, but also the way that they were marketed. Lisa understood the power of branding and worked tirelessly to create a world that her young audience could immerse themselves in. I thought it was just because it's cute. It's big, it's bright, it's colorful. It's like this design that's kind of like, it fires all these neurons in your head, you know what I mean? I don't think I've ever met one person who's just like, what is the backstory of this seal? Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Like, we got another one.
Apparently there's over 400 characters.
Yeah, but they're all animals.
But they're reused, and they have names and lore.
Oh, they all have names and lore? I didn't know that. She did this by introducing original characters such as Panda Painter, Zoomer and Zorbit, and the Dancing Dolphins to help build familiar faces kids could attach to. I thought they were just all animals. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say Zoomer and Zorbit. She even put her own personality into her characters, Priscilla, who was a wealthy, fluffy, white kitten. Oh, she's like, that's me. I'm the head pussy in charge here. Though she apparently hated cats. Then why'd you do it, Lisa?
They're cute.
If you hate cats, though, you probably don't think they're cute, right?
She was just a marketing genius. She realized people like cats.
People that don't like cats, like, they do some bad shit to them. In addition to the products themselves, the marketing of the Lisa Frank product was incredibly effective. The brand's advertisements were everywhere, on televisions and magazines, and even in fast food restaurants through partnerships with companies like McDonald's, which I do remember that. And it made me kind of sad going to McDonald's when I was a kid, because it made me think I was going back to school. You know, I want to fucking escape this shit. Don't bring school to me wherever I go.
It's cute.
It's Zorbit! Lisa Frank products were marketed as something special, something that allowed children to express their creativity and individuality by coloring an image.
I get to choose the color.
But I get to choose the colors. Me! And for many children, owning a Lisa Frank item was a status symbol, a way to stand out in a sea of ordinary school supplies. It was like getting a Mercedes-Benz, baby. It's the same reason why people buy like G-Wagons, if that's even a thing anymore, like Teslas and all that shit. No one gives a about the environment. They just want that high-class status, dude. They want to be a top dog.
They paid $10 for a pack of pencils that had the art on it.
A $10 pack of pencils that you're also gonna like, you destroy. You know what I mean? You have to sharpen your pencil and it removes all the art off it, and you're like, no, Zorbit, where'd you go? Which is funny because the parallels, history does repeat itself. Little girls are just like the meanest people, I mean creatures, animals to ever exist, dude. Little girls are like ruthless, heartless. Guys, you know, like from what I remember, like guys, they'll be dicks or whatever. I feel like guys make amends pretty easily. Little girls, I mean, like,
Oh my God, ew. Where's your Lisa Frank? Like, do you not have this?
they just tear at you.
Oh my God, did your dad lose his job? Is that why you couldn't get it?
What? is wrong with you?
I just think she's gross.
So that's where Lisa Frank gets you, all right? But that's parallel to how the Stanley Cup thing happened. I bet kids are like that with the Stanley Cups now. By the 90s, the company was grossing over $60 million a year in sales and had over 500 employees. But behind the scenes, all was not as it seemed. Dun, 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 again. The company had this aura and image of sunshine and rainbows. But inside the facilities, employees complained about harsh working conditions and toxic workplace environments. Former employees related it to an abusive alcoholic home and described a workplace ruled by fear, where even the smallest mistake could lead to severe consequences. God damn, dude. Lisa Frank's just like, for every person who doesn't draw his orbit the right way, gets 4 fingers broken.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, master! Begin! And all of this madness apparently stemmed from when Lisa Frank's husband, James Green, took over as CEO in 1995. And that's when all hell started to just absolutely break loose. At the height of the company, Lisa Frank wanted to step away from management and focus on just the design aspect of the product. She's just like, I've been making in all this money, balling, dude. Look at this empire I built. But I just want to focus on the art. James, can you handle this stuff? Yeah, I got it. This is easy peasy, baby. You go hey, go draw Zorbit all day. By this time, her company has probably been grossed hundreds of millions of dollars. She was also very paranoid of being in the public eye and had just given birth to her first child. I bet Lisa's kind of a rug cutter. Maybe she wants to go out and dance or do some blow. She has to settle down now because she has a kid. So you can't be the CEO of Lisa Frank Incorporated selling pudding pops and pandas to children. I bet you she was doing some like eyes wide shut shit. You know what I'm saying? High class society stuff. She's getting her nipples pinched and she's like slapping people in the face and everything. Where am I? What am I doing? She named her first 2 kids after characters in her illustrations, which was Hunter and Forrest, which I think is a good name. I had Forrest, I'm like, I don't really know, but Hunter I think is very solid. So Lisa, good on you, albeit somewhat narcissistic. Hey, you know what? Why not? If you've garnered millions and millions and millions of dollars, I'd be like, yeah, Hunter and Forrest, dude. This is what made mommy. You ever seen Mommy Dearest? Oh, dude. Have you heard of that scene? No more wire hangers! Because I bet you that's what Lisa Frank was doing to her kids, dude. So, Lisa gave that role to her husband, which turned out to be the biggest mistake she would ever make in her entire life. She would work from home and she would only come in to the office once a month just to check on things. Once a month. And for the next 10 years, James pulled all the strings, who allegedly was prone to fits of rage and was described as an abusive, arrogant, and extremely difficult to work with kind of person. A decade, all right? Like Lisa's just like, all right, he's your boss. We'll see ya. No! Shuts those doors. This made the company become notorious as Tucson, Arizona's shittiest employer, as soon dawned the name of Technicolor Gulag. That's fucking awesome. Lisa Frank's company ends up being called the Technicolor Gulag. According to former employees, these were some of the things that were to be expected when working inside of Lisa Frank Incorporated. Employees were not able to speak to each other, and that there was to be complete silence in the workplace. Not even you gave a murmur. There was a bi-monthly publication called Frankly Speaking, which told employees how to behave, particularly how to behave around CEO James Green. I think James has some insecurity problems, is what I think. Visitors were prohibited to enter the facility, including family members. Top secrets going on. We're going to be drawing lines today, and we cannot have anybody know our line design. It's like, isn't that the same line we've been drawing since 1983? Back to work! No one speak! God damn it! Female employees were unable to wear heels because, quote, they wouldn't be able to walk as fast as him. Why do I feel like they made Mad Men based around James Green? I want a scotch at 9:30 and no one wear heels because you can't keep up with Papa. Am I right? In reality, he was really short and insecure about his height, so if you were taller than him, he wouldn't feel insecure. I wonder how tall Lisa Frank was. She looks tall in that picture. She looked really tall. Maybe you like that, though. I'm gonna climb you like a tree. She's like, do whatever you want, Paul Bunyan. Here, Jack of the Beanstalk. Get on up here, Jack. There's a giant to slay. And there was unfair wages, and some people even reported only receiving minimum wage for the entire duration of their employment. No matter the role. Qualified roles, you're getting paid $7.25. Probably even less back then. You're getting paid $4 something. Flip the minimum wage in 1995. Do you want the job or not? It's either us or McDonald's. And if you violated any of these rules, you'd be verbally abused, which included name calling. James would scream in your face. You'd threaten to be fired, or some bizarre punishment James come up with that day. One time, an employee left 10 minutes early, so James instructed the warehouse manager to put chains and padlocks on all the doors so that the staff couldn't escape. They're making tiger pictures and seals in water for children for folders. Hey, I'm just gonna head out early. My daughter's got a baseball game. Yeah, man, no problem. Lock the doors. I have 10 minutes to leave. Goodbye. There was also an extremely high turnover rate within the company's art department, often chewing up and spitting out new hires at unusually high rates, which let me tell you, that's what happens in the studio system anyways. A former employee said that in the 4 years he was employed in the 40-person creative department, the group may have changed over at least 2 or 3 times. One year, almost a third of the entire staff was fired. So not even people quitting, but people also just getting laid off. Another employee said that over 80 people left or were fired between February of 2003 and December of 2004. While most of the turnover rate was due to random firings due to James's temper, many of the people quit just because they couldn't handle the oppressive atmosphere in which James created. And when you did leave, the company allegedly failed to give severance packages, fought unemployment benefits, and numerous former employees had to sue for their final paycheck. James is such a petty little piece of shit. God, I hate him. Several employees witnessed James repeatedly throwing chairs and objects at employees for messing up. That's the whiplash method. Not my tempo. Fucking throws the deal at him. He throws a live seal at him. He would never take an employee off to the side and instead would scream, curse, and belittle them in front of everyone. Because he has little man syndrome. He's a little guy. I bet he had a huge truck. If you crossed him, or if he just didn't like you, he made sure that person's life was miserable from his constant abuse and harassment. James also never learned any of the employees' names and would just give people nicknames. Hey, fat ankles, come over here. My name's Tyler. I've worked here for 9 years. You know that. You went to my, you've been to my wedding. Yeah, Cankles. Gonna need a new giraffe logo by the end of the day. If you can tell Tootsie and Fatto McGee to do that, that'd be great. Thank you. He'd probably give you orders for other people's nicknames. So you probably had to learn all of the people's f***ed up nicknames so you could actually communicate with each other. Tell Beak Nose and Giraffe Neck to get in here. Hey, Stacy and John, he wants to see you. One employee said he would refer to one of his employees as that guy due to her not being that attractive. You know, James is the kind of guy to be like, hey, that guy. You see that new movie, American Pie? Oh, it's fucking funny. Oh, it's real funny. John was not alone. He also had his partner in crime, Rhonda Rowlett. Rhonda the Rottweiler. And they contributed to the abuse and neglect within the company. Rhonda was the company's vice president and was John's enforcer. They were also extremely into coke. They were visiting the snowman every day. And Rhonda would allegedly send an employee to a gas station in order to pick up brown paper bags, and they were instructed not to look inside. So Rhonda the Rottweiler even sent people out to pick up her coke. Whatever you do not look in that bag. And then John's like, he's like fucking 3 foot tall. He's like,
Yeah, don't look in the bag.
as a turn of events, they became lovers. In September of 2005, Lisa divorced James. James probably said some petty shit too.
She was better than you. And you know what? She draws hyenas and fucking goats way better than you, Lisa, you dog.
James and Rhonda lashed out against the company, often pitting employees against each other. And they made people pick sides. You're either with James or you're with Lisa. So even after the divorce, he still got to work at the company. Dude, brutal. Come on, Lisa. Fucking get him out of there. James wanted to start his own company and take everyone who sided with him to go run this new company. Are you with Lisa, the girl who could barely draw fucking toes, or are you with me? The guy who, What do you want, that guy? What do you want? In response to the divorce, Lisa wiretapped the company's phones and collected all the employees' emails to sabotage James. Apparently, she found out James had wiretapped the phones years ago, and she also issued a restraining order against James so that he would stop, quote, harassing employees and blocking purchasing orders. It's a coloring book company! Eventually, James resigned and Lisa became CEO once more. They then sued each other for the next 8 years over both company and personal assets. James wanted control of the company and to force her to dissolve Lisa Frank Incorporated. He wanted the company basically and for Lisa just to lose everything. He also tried to claim that he created all 400 of the original characters. Off, dude. James tried to sue Lisa for $12 million so he could pay off a loan for a private jet he bought. I feel like everything that I'm saying in between each thing, I'm just like, that's James in a nutshell. That whole thing. I hope you enjoyed that little bit. Her ex-employees did not have nice things to say about Lisa as well. You probably think the entire time, oh, Lisa, poor Lisa. Well, this is what some of the ex-employees said about Lisa as well.
She's getting older now. She kept getting, I don't know if it was plastic surgery, but she kept getting these lotions. Talking about youth. Have you met her? She's like 2 pounds.
God damn! But that's so petty and mean. Former employees commented and said that her husband wasn't the only reason for the company's downfall and that she played a hand in it as well. Another quote, "The current state of affairs is unsurprising to them, and it was both a long time coming, thanks to chronic mismanagement from both Frank and Green." I wonder how much that's true, though. The wrongdoing was that she gave control to a guy who also probably didn't know what the he was doing either.
She was also afraid of James at home.
She was afraid of James at home?
For his abusive outburst.
For his abusive outburst? Well, no wonder she got a fucking restraining order against him. That's a pretty big piece of information to know. Good God. One of the most frequent complaints from employees was about Lisa Frank's management style. Frank was known for her perfectionism.
Round out his face a little bit so he looks a little cuter.
And while this has been a key factor in the success of her brand, it also led to an environment of fear and anxiety. To me, I think it's just her turning a blind eye to all of the mismanagement styles of her husband, who she probably was afraid of too. So it was probably this correlation of like her feeling like she didn't want to say anything to him because she didn't want to have to deal with it at home. Employees reported that Frank was extremely hands-on, often micromanaging every aspect of the business. This led to an atmosphere where employees felt constantly scrutinized and pressured to meet her high standards. This is another person. I personally heard Frank scream at sales managers and threaten their lives if they f***ed up a presentation. Every day was so stressful, and hearing Lisa's voice downstairs on a speakerphone made my blood run cold. I had many instances where she abused me verbally. You ever heard about Steve Jobs? Steve Jobs belittled the shit out of people, screamed at him, but guess what? Now we have an iPhone. So maybe take your little snowflake attitude and get the f*** out of here. If you don't want to draw monkeys and seals, then get the f*** out of here. Lisa has admitted that she wasn't a great employer and has apologized for the way she treated her employees within her company. Lisa Frank Incorporated has also notorious for copyright abuse, and they would go after artists who drew anything rainbow colored or cute, which is where, to me as an artist, whatever, that's where I draw the line where I'm like, dude, you don't own animals and rainbow patterns, all right? The company is no longer the giant it was in its heyday, but in the 2010s, the brand experienced a resurgence of sorts, fueled by a wave of 90s nostalgia. In 2012, Lisa worked with Urban Outfitters to try to resuscitate the company by launching new merch, as well as selling some of their vintage stuff from the 1980s and 90s. This revival didn't boost the company to the former glory, and in 2016, it was reported that they reduced their company from 500 employees to just 6, and that they only make $2.6 million in annual revenue. Lisa Frank headquarters, which is 320,000 square foot building in Tucson, Arizona, is now run down shell of its former self. And apparently the 6 remaining staff members worked inside of here.
Oh, there's people.
There was also some controversies that Lisa was rebranding her characters with sex appeal. It wasn't until 2021 when Lisa's 21-year-old son, Forrest Green, took over as director of business development. His first act of business was taking over the company's Instagram account during the pandemic. They quickly gained 700,000 followers and have since partnered with brands like Morph, Pillsbury, and Crocs. But that's where we're at! I have to thank my wife for telling me about this. I had no idea. This is a fucking insane story. I'm surprised this hasn't been made into like a movie yet. I mean, James Green, I don't know what kind of fucking rock he crawled under, but goddamn. You think he's just like power tripping regular, like everyday stuff? Like he's the guy who's in the grocery store being like, well, could you go to the back and check? I bet you he's still getting his power trip somehow.
He actually has his own company now, and he has similar art.
Oh, so he's just doing a Lisa Frank knockoff, whatever. I wonder how Forrest Green feels about that. Daddy, you draw seals really well. It's like horrible. He's like, thank you, son. Thank you. But that's all I have to talk about today. The Lisa Frank saga continues. Maybe dig up some of those folders and go down memory lane knowing that somebody probably was emotionally manipulated and probably verbally assaulted making it. Until next time, everybody. I'll see you then.
Welcome to Lisa Frank's Bedazzled Deathbed, where you can leave the world just as happy as you entered it. Who wants to be remembered as a pile of sad, lifeless, gray dust? Not me. That's why, at Lisa Frank's Bedazzled Deathbeds, you can add some jazz to your ashes.